Welcome everybody. I'm Gold Leader. I'm joined by Patronus, and it's a magical Monday for Harry Potter.
Absolutely. It's my favorite alliteration.
Yeah, we don't have good ones for
anybody else.
Yeah, we haven't figured what can we Fantastic Friday? I don't know. For Marvel?
No. Yeah.
Maybe when the Fantastic Four comes out, we can call it Fantastic Friday.
I guess.
And Wednesday, nothing goes with Wednesday.
No.
For
I guess Wars is technically an alliteration.
For Star Wars?
Wars Wednesday, but no. Magical Mondays is definitely
Wizarding Wednesday works great for Harry Potter.
It does, but that's okay. Anyway, so welcome to our Magical Monday Triwizard Tournament evening. We're returning to our bracket tonight. And we're going to have Arthur Weasley facing off against Draco, Malfoy, Slytherin.
And one thing real quick, last week we did a sealed, which was super fun.
It was.
And we actually have enough product to do, I believe, 2 more streams with that product? Because there's 24 boosters. We opened 12. Yeah, 2 more
I have no
streams.
idea. I don't know math for that.
So we can do 2 more streams with the sealed product. What did you lose?
I was looking for a muff for my mic, but I'll have to look for it later.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we have basically 2 more streams worth of product before we gotta send Presdev his cards back.
Yep. Thanks again, Presdev.
Yeah, and he said there was no rush. But so what we're gonna do for like the next 2 weeks is we're gonna alternate doing the Triwizard stuff and a different type of limited thing each week. So last time we just did straight sealed.
Yep.
Next week I think we're gonna try 2-player draft. And then the third week we're gonna try something else.
Yeah.
I haven't figured out what that is yet.
Yeah, we'll sort through it. And it will be less clunky next time around because we now know we do not know the artwork from the first set enough to know what a card does by looking at the picture.
Yeah. And we're not gonna sadly for you, we're not gonna memorize all the cards.
No.
So
not a thing.
But what we're gonna do is we'll open the packs ahead of time so we know what's in the packs.
Just so we can pull the English versions.
So we can pull all the English versions.
But we'll still crack packs, quote unquote, live, so you guys get to participate in that process.
See all this. See us opening the packs, and then we will then quickly be able to switch to building the decks and playing. So tonight is Triwizard stream, and I screwed up as Patronus can tell you.
Yeah. We are jumping to the bottom left corner of our bracket. Sorry.
Yeah. I was not thinking.
Yeah. And that's essentially what that is.
Yeah, I was literally just not thinking.
And we had already pulled all the cards and made proxies. And so we were committed.
Yeah, we were committed.
We were just committed to
we're all the way in the bottom left corner of the bracket with Draco, Malfoy, Slytherin, and Arthur Weasley.
Yep. So we'll probably switch back to our normal pattern at some point.
Yeah. But it doesn't really matter what order we play the matches in.
It just looks weird on our bracket.
Yeah. And it's totally all my fault. So
100%.
You can totally make fun of me.
Anyway, so yes, we're going to jump in. We actually, OCD tried to lay some stuff out for you guys so we can flash it here and then on camera what our deck lists are.
Yeah, so we don't have, obviously there isn't fancy deck builders yet. So we're going to go with what I call old school. So if you don't know what old school is, I play a lot of Magic the Gathering. Old school is a format where you play with only the oldest cards in the game. So it'd be like the original cards.
Right.
In that format, you can't submit a deck list. There is no deck list submission. You have to lay out all your cards beautifully like this, and then you have to take a photo.
Yeah.
And that is your deck list.
That's true.
So I was like, you know what? These cards are pretty. I'm going to lay out all the cards and show it to you on the camera because.
AKA, we had 3 minutes before we had to go live, and Gold Leader likes OCD-ness of this.
Yeah, so it looks beautiful. And so we're going to show you all the cards before we start playing and how many are in each deck and all that stuff. So I'm not, and do note, I am not playing the Draco Slytherin item deck.
True.
Patronus is playing it.
I'm playing it, and I'm probably going to screw it up. Although this is a little different because there's a lot of characters in this deck. So it's certainly not a carbon by any means of the deck that won the last Triwizard bracket.
This is an updated version with Air Slytherin.
Right, but it also has a ton of characters, I feel like.
Well, it has definitely more. It's got quite a few more, which is interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know how that all plays in. I haven't played the deck.
Yeah,
so.
but there are some Slytherin pieces in here, which is awesome.
The Dobby's disappearance is a legit Dobby's disappearance. I will happily put one on camera.
I think we only have one.
We have two.
Oh, okay.
We have two.
I can't believe it's not in a deck already.
Well,
we usually start with our real cards, and then when we run out, we start proxying.
It is in a deck, but with it only being one copy of each, we've only had one other deck with Transfiguration, so that's the second copy.
There we go. So from now on, they'll be proxies.
But our proxies actually are not bad. They kind of, I think even like here, it's not that easy to spot. The adventures are super easy to spot. They don't come out well.
Yeah. The older cards, like the original cards, the scans are just okay.
Yeah, so here's a proxy of an original card, Lockhart's hair carrier, which is very obvious.
Yeah.
But then if you look at the beautiful revival cards, I mean they
look a lot better.
The green, that card looks amazing as a proxy. So just depends.
So, say Levy.
I will say the Revival team's done a really good job with their graphic design, the color saturation on their cards. I'm kind of speechless when I
mean, they look identical to the originals.
I'm speechless with how well I think the Heir of Slytherin. I cannot say enough of how well I think they've done with it.
I agree.
As part of someone who's been a part of player committees that make sets for 15 years.
Yeah. And actually having that be your job for a hot minute.
They're doing a really, really, really good job. Yeah. So keep it up, and we'll be excited to play with all your cards on stream. So,
all right, you want to go through your deck first? Or you want me to
do
mine?
I can go mine. So I am actually playing Arthur Weasley in my deck.
That's true.
So does that kind of screw your deck over because you have Arthur Weasley's in your deck? If that's my starting wizard, are those just dead cards in game one? I think they are.
I don't know the answer to. I would think so because they're unique, right?
Yeah, and in this game, this game's not like Star Wars TCG. There's no friendliness. If it's unique, it's unique.
I would think so. I guess we haven't come up with that as a thing yet. So yeah. Yeah,
I'm happy that more revival cards are on the way too. Although I kind of wish I could play more. I haven't had time. I can't play with the revival cards as much. So I'm kind of upset. The cards are out there and I should be playing with them, but I haven't had a chance to play other than on stream because there's Tuesday nights at 7. It's too early for me. I can't swing it. So I'm usually making dinner, cleaning dinner, and then getting ready first. It's like our one night off. So it's all right. So my starting character is Arthur Weasley.
Yeah.
Starting with lessons. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 potion lessons. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 transfiguration lessons. So that's 24 lessons total. And then for the guts of the deck, we are running the full 4 of Eel Eyes. The full 4 of Beetle Eyes. So we'll be mixing some Bulgeye potions. Is it Bulgeye? Bulgeye?
I usually say Bulgeye, but I don't know if I'm right.
So we're gonna mix 2 of those, hopefully. Then that's all the potion stuff. And then obviously you saw the one Dobby's disappearance. Actually, when Hent submitted this, he actually submitted 4 Dobby's disappearance, but I let him know, and he told us to swap that card out with 3 copies of Transfiguration Test. So that's what we've done. He does have 3 copies of Transfiguration Exam. Well, I guess it'll be fair. Because this deck's going to have a bunch of dead kill creature cards until it sideboards.
ABT says he agrees Bulgeye is what our consensus is for the evening.
Scribblifors times 3. Yep. And one of my favorites, Picking on Neville times 4. 4 copies of Through the Arch. Seems to be an incredibly popular card. Man, this deck is not lining up very well with your deck at all. 3 Winged Keys. 3 Forbidden Corridor. And 2 copies of Remembrall. And that's a 60 card deck.
Mm-hmm. So I'm playing with Draco as my, I'm thinking leader, but starting character, starting wizard.
Leader?
I don't know why I had like Dragon Ball in my head. Maybe because I was sorting those cards relatively recently.
I was just saying leader. You've never even played a game with a leader.
I know. 1 copy of Leakey Cauldron.
Vaughn, welcome. We are great.
1 copy of Magical Drafts and Potions. 1 Seamus.
Seamus.
We know how to pronounce it now. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
Vaughn corrected us because I don't apparently speak Irish. 1 copy of Seamus. 3 copies of Arthur Weasley, which I agree. I think those are just dead cards.
Yeah. Don't worry, I have far more dead cards than you.
Yeah, 2 copies of Neville Longbottom. 1 Professor Snape. I don't know what you did with the foes that I printed out that weren't hollow, but...
I think they're using them all.
Wow, really? I have to make more? I printed like a whole sheet.
I think you're using them all.
Wow,
Professor
okay.
Snape's really popular either as a starting wizard or as a character index.
Okay.
So I think we're actually using them all.
1 copy of Madam Pomfrey. 1 copy of Hannah Abbott. And those are all the characters.
I think we're out of those too. You need to make Hannah Abbott's too.
Okay, I'll just make more sheets, I guess.
Yeah.
I had found, I think on the Dark Mark website, they had ones that were not hollow.
It was Hannah Abbott, Snape, and Marcus Flint.
Maybe.
I'm trying to. It was like 3 different characters.
So there's 4 copies of Lockhart's Hair Care Potion. Play all those characters cheaper. 3 copies of Lucius's Cane.
That's a new card.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's interesting too because it's green and it provides charms.
That's one of the coolest designs. I love that, right?
Ooh.
I want to see more.
My God, that makes so much sense for Lucius too because like the blue is all the money.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, it's perfect.
So perfect.
When we spoiled that card, I was tripping.
I think I remember us tripping. I just completely forgot because it was a while ago. 4 copies of Silver Unicorn Horn.
Vaughn says all the Discord veterans are Slytherin Snape lovers in my mind. Vaughn, add me to the list. Go Slytherin.
1 copy of Self-Stirring Cauldron, which I'm pretty sure this is the 1 copy that you just purchased. So there you go.
That I did. For the stream.
Yeah,
I'm
sure that was the reason.
It's a tax write-off for the stream. I got yelled at by Patronus like within seconds of purchasing it.
It was not within seconds. It was like a couple hours later. You mentioned buying it. I was like, I already know.
I was like, I spent $5.
4 copies of Magical Me, which is one of the new books from Air Slytherin. Then, of course, money. The 3 Sickles and 3 Knuts. And those are all the sideways cards. Then we have 1 copy of Impersonating Goyle.
Well, that's a foil, by the way, from COS.
Yeah, we ran out, so...
That's the only one we own.
It's only... Oh, really? Oh,
we don't own regular ones.
I guess it is a rare, yeah. 1 copy of Spongify. 1 Chocolate Rocks. 2 Christmas Feast. And 3 Ollivanders. That is this 60, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 potions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 charms.
I actually
so
just sold our only copy of foil Professor Sprout on Facebook to a very nice gentleman whose birthday is today as well. So happy birthday. Liam Goodman.
I am mailing out your card tomorrow.
Yeah, Patronus will be shipping your card to Canada tomorrow. I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll do a quick pile here.
I'm not big on foils. I never have been, even in Magic. That's actually one of the things I like about playing old school Magic is because foils didn't exist. They don't allow them.
Yeah.
So if like they reprinted the card in foil later on, you can't even use it.
Yep.
It's pretty awesome.
Original only.
Oh no! I just realized you have the World Championship sleeves.
I know. He's doomed.
Oh no!
That's fine.
If something goes wrong, you can blame the sleeves.
I'm sure it will also be partially my fault.
I gotta get some of those Harry Potter sleeves.
What Harry Potter sleeves?
The ones for the Hogwarts battle.
Oh, sure. I don't know why USAopoly has not enlisted someone to just print Harry Potter themed sleeves.
Makes
like
no sense.
I don't know if they just don't have the license for it.
They
but
do
I would think
because
they do because they have the game.
They made the Hogwarts battle once.
Right, that's true.
So like
yeah,
they definitely
it seems like an epic fail that nobody's made like house themed sleeves. How is that not a thing?
House themed sleeves would be the most insane thing ever. Just give me sleeves with all the house backs.
Yeah, it's like the Game of Thrones house sleeves. Yeah, it's like how is and people didn't even play the Game of Thrones game that those sleeves were for, and everybody just bought out the sleeves because they were awesome.
Me included.
I know. I'm aware.
It's like, yep.
Yeah, it's just one of those missed opportunities.
My Lannister sleeves, I literally played them until they started splitting.
I'm aware. I am aware.
But I only played House Lannister anyways in that game. I didn't touch any other house.
It's shocking.
Yeah, makes perfect sense.
It does make perfect sense. All right. Can roll our dice this evening, and you can pick our thing.
ABT Silence, that has never been a thing, really. And there's not really companies for custom sleeves, and here's why. Custom sleeves, so in order for sleeves to get down to a price that like basically makes them buyable, where you can get them down to either $5 for 50, or even nowadays some of the higher end ones are $7 for 50. Mm-hmm. To get them down to that price, they have to print
millions.
It's a ridiculous amount. And so there are a couple places that will do it, but they usually don't do it to like me or you. They'll do it to like to a business.
Yeah.
Because they'll have to order a lot. Like my local game store has worked with a company that has gotten sleeves for them, but like they were doing events like around literally the whole United States.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they still have those sleeve packs.
They don't, but they had. I think they ordered 50,000.
Yeah.
And that's how they got them. 50,000, 50 packs. Yes.
Right, exactly.
Of sleeves.
Yeah.
Oh, you're supposed to call it.
Oh, I said you call it.
Oh, I could call it and roll it?
I mean, we both are rolling.
Oh, that's fair. I see what you're saying.
It's not like this is heads or tails.
I'm thinking heads or tails, yeah. Well, I'm going to go with, let's go with hearts today.
Okay.
Oh, I chose poorly.
Okay.
It's like the cup from Indiana Jones.
Nope.
Oh,
right. Tied.
Roll off. Zero.
Lots of cards, though. Dang.
That's because I have no heart.
Neither do I. Wow, this is impressively horrible.
I got one.
One.
The dice game before the game. All right.
Zero.
You really have no heart.
Okay. Wow, that was super awkward. Okay.
Where did you get these sleeves from? Magic Island sleeves?
The pack of miscellaneous sleeves, and I realized there was enough among 2 or 3 miscellaneous sleeves box to make enough for 50 cards.
Oh, they look brand new. Okay. Well,
yeah.
Here we go.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, I understand why they didn't make house sleeves, but like, I don't know. I still think there's a market. Like, I still think there's a market, especially right now. Magic the Gathering is coming out with their next set. It's going to be called Strixhaven, and it's literally an homage to Harry Potter.
Yeah.
They're like dividing magic into houses, and the whole story is based off of like going to a magic wizarding school and like being in a certain house, which is a certain school of magic and all this stuff. So it would be cool, like if there was Harry Potter sleeves. I think people would still just play them in their games. I don't know. I feel like IPs are a thing, and if you just slapped Harry Potter sleeves, house sleeves, on a sleeve, that people would buy them regardless of the game they're playing. But I could be wrong too.
All right, you're going first.
Okay, that's right. Go first. I've got lessons. Man. Although my hand is really bad. So this is my hand. I'm going to show them.
Seeing no evil.
All right, so I've got this, which we know is a kind of a dead card. This, not helping. This, not helping. That's useful a long time from now. That could be useful a while from now. And then I've got that. So I think I'm going to ship all these back.
Right.
I mean, I can't imagine, honestly, much worse of a hand.
Mine isn't great, but it's fine.
I literally was running out of... I literally didn't have cards that were viable to play.
Fair enough, and it's worth shipping it back.
This deck's going to have a hard time. This deck is unfortunately, like, got a really terrible matchup. It's heavy against creatures, and you have no creatures in your deck.
Yeah.
So this is going to be rough, especially before sideboarding. Although, I'm not even sure in sideboarding if my sideboard's going to help me. My sideboard has more creature kill in it. So this is going to be rough. But I think this is actually kind of an interesting deck.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the classic Weasley Bulgeye assembly
It's
thing,
different though, because the Weasley Bulgeye assembly thing is usually in this deck, and you're like getting the actions. This one's kind of like a control deck, and it's using the potion assembly as the win condition.
Right.
So we'll see how it goes.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. All right, this is way better.
Good.
So we're going to play an action. And then we're going to play... I love Eel Eyes. We're going to play Eel Eyes.
Which is, you look at my hand, I think, right?
Yeah, just look at your hand.
Okay. So we have a Lockhart, Paracare Potion, 2 Unicorn Horns, 1 dead Arthur Weasley, Charms, Potions, and then a Cane. I'll just leave all this over here. Okay.
Yeah. You know what's crazy, Vaughn? I don't know why the I think Stefan might know, I still don't understand why the WB took back the license for the Harry Potter trading card game. Because they took it back, but no one made a Harry Potter game until USApoly, like a dozen years later. Like they had all the movies that came out, and they didn't do anything with maybe there were some board games or something. But I don't remember anything like this.
There have been a couple. I think there were a couple, but they weren't good. But they were just like one-off. Like
there was like a Quidditch
monopoly
game
of Harry Potter. You know what I mean? Like they weren't collectible. They weren't expansionary in any form.
I forgot to draw.
Sure.
I have 8 cards now. Okay, so yeah, it's your turn.
Yes, because you did lesson.
Yep.
Okay, so draw, and I'm gonna do a lesson, and then I'm gonna play that Lockhart's Hair Care, which is gonna net me an extra action.
Yep.
I might need to keep track of my actions because I have had that problem before. Okay. And honestly, I'm just going to play another lesson.
Sounds good.
Go ahead.
I'm going to draw. Need to stop drawing this card. I'm going to play a lesson. And a lesson.
Okay.
And we're done.
Draw. Okay, let's play a lesson and draw a card.
Okay. Draw.
Yep.
First action to draw. Second action, play a lesson.
Okay.
Done.
Draw. Well, fudge. Draw.
Yep.
Sure. We'll play Spongify. So I'm gonna bounce this hair care potion to my hand and draw a card.
You bounce the hair care potion in your hand? Interesting.
I want to be able to just get more cards so I can make my lesson drops at this point.
All right.
So
You
that
done?
gives me some extra economy. Yep.
I'm gonna draw. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm not playing a character anytime soon.
I'm gonna play a lesson, and then I'm gonna play Beetle Eyes.
Okay. So I think it's 4 damage.
Yep. When you play this card, do 4 damage to your opponent.
Uh-oh.
Okay. And that was 2 actions, so I'm done.
All right. So we will play a lesson. Play Cane. Gonna net me an extra action.
Yep.
And just play another lesson.
Oh, wow. That card's just perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So you do 2 damage to me.
Correct, because that was in play. Yep.
That was in play with your second action, and then you did a third action.
Correct.
So, yep. So, bang.
Yep.
So 1, 2.
Yep.
All right.
Whack you with my cane.
All right, I'm going to draw.
Yeah.
And what does this do? All right, we're going to use an action. I think we're going to get aggressive.
Makes sense.
We're going to get a Bulgeye Potion. I believe you have to sack these things.
Yes, you do. Stack them and search for a Bulgeye and put it into play.
Says when you play this card, you may use an action and discard this card and Beetle Eyes. Yep, so I lose them both. And I get a Bulgeye Potion.
Mixing potions. Mixing potions.
A good one, too. All right. And then my second action will just deal you 10 with my wizard.
Sure.
So that's online.
Yep.
And I'm done.
All right.
Maybe I could win this.
Draw. Unfortunately, I had a very slow start.
Yeah, I did too. I didn't, but then I got the combo early, which was helpful.
Okay, so we will play a unicorn horn.
Yep.
Which is going to net me an extra action.
Yep.
When you play this card, put 2 non-healing cards from your discard pile on the bottom of your deck.
Yep. The 2 cards you want.
Yep.
Vaughn, I absolutely want more potion ingredients. I do think they have to be careful with the potion ingredient mixing, only because, like, Draco Malfoy is so, like, he's a pretty strong character. And I think if you make all the potion ingredient mixing work too well together, you could have a really powerful deck. So while I do want it, they got to be a little careful with it. Because if you just made a bunch of cool combos like this, 2-card combos to get something awesome, you could be. But I think it would be amazing to have different types of potion ingredient mixing.
I'm just going to put Chocolate Frogs in at Christmas.
Okay.
Okay. And then
Still have 2 actions.
yeah. So I think I probably I guess let's play Christmas Feast.
It lets you draw 4 items from your discard pile, right?
Yeah, put up to 4 non-healing items from your discard pile into your hand.
Yep, so you get the...
So I'll get some money.
Big money.
I think that's all the money
and
I have.
Little money.
And then... I guess we'll do 4 copies of Magical Me.
Yeah.
And so all those go to my hand. I think I can use this. Yes, here's the question. So if I play this Magical Me book,
yep.
During your turn, you may discard this card from play. If you do, choose a non-healing spell with printed power cost of 2 or less in your discard pile. Play it as if it was in your hand.
Sure.
Nothing on there says it requires an action. So
you would use an action to play
it with an action.
It says during your turn, you may discard this card from play. If you do, yeah, it's not an action. It's just a, okay.
So I'm going to play it.
So
I guess the question is, playing that other card from my discard pile, is that my last action?
No, I don't think... yes, because it's like as if you're playing it from your hand.
That's what I would think so as well. Okay, yep. So I'm going to use my last action to play the Spongify in my discard pile to bounce this thing to your hand.
Oh, okay. That was a good play.
And then I draw a card.
Nice.
All right.
That was a great...
Saved.
That was a great play.
Saved. I was like flipping through my discard pile. I'm like, huh, does that work?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
I'm at least off the ropes.
Yeah, you are in good shape now.
Oh, you take 2 damage. Sorry.
Yep.
1.
Yeah. 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And then draw. Yeah.
Rebounded.
Now I'm in trouble because now I don't have a thing to get online.
And it'll be a hot minute before you can afford to just cast it.
Oh,
the old-fashioned way. So.
Yeah, for sure. Yowzers. I don't know what to do now. Yeah, I'm going to play an action to play a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I have to draw a card.
Okay. I'm
done.
All right. Draw.
I think that the tables have turned. That was a really good play.
Yeah.
Spongify. Choose a non-healing item and return. Yeah, that. Oh, and you get to draw a card.
I did.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good card.
Yep.
Especially as a one-of. That was a great move.
Yeah.
Because now it's in your discard pile the whole game, and with this card...
Oh, I think I had to sack that in order to do it, though.
During your turn, you may discard this card. Yeah, so that's gone.
So that's gone.
But you have another one.
I have another one in my hand, yeah. So,
and what's great is this card could always get back Feast, which then gets back this card.
Yeah.
Oh, Nicola.
There's only 2 of the Christmas Feasts, though, in my deck.
Because
so I put 1 on the bottom of the deck.
Because you don't need 4, because this could get it back.
Huh?
This card can get back Christmas Feast.
No, it's 2 or less.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, I think that's the only target.
Okay, never mind.
Honestly.
I didn't realize it was 2 or less.
Like, it's that, or I think Ollivanders, I think, are the only targets.
Sure, but Ollivanders also gets you an item.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to play the Hair Care Potion.
Yep.
which is going to get me an extra action.
Yeah, so you got 2.
Then we're going to play Neville.
Oh boy.
For an action.
Only 1, yeah?
Yeah, who prevents all but the first 8 damage.
All but what?
All but the first 8 damage. So any damage in excess of 8, you don't hit.
Oh, God. In excess of 8. Gotcha.
Correct.
Gotcha.
So once you go over 8, you're doing max 8 while he's in play.
Yeah, okay.
Which against you is actually relevant.
It is.
And then I'm probably just gonna heal. Okay. Shuffle 6 non-healing cards from your discard pile in your deck. Probably put that back in there. Sure, Seamus with this whole Lucius Cane thing. This seems gonna work out okay. And I guess.
Wait, you can only shuffle
non-healing.
Oh, non-heal any non-healing card.
6 non-healing.
Okay.
Yep. So.
It's been a while since I played with this.
Yep. No, that's fine. So I'm just gonna put. Fortunately, the rest of these are kind of dead, but I guess it's healing. I kind of want that Spongify to stay in my discard pile. Yeah. So,
the whole game.
Okay, so that's my last action is doing the healing, and do I shuffle? Yeah. So shuffling these into my deck. Okay. That's my hand that you still had access to. All right.
That's my turn?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, and I
took 2 damage.
Took 2 damage.
Sorry.
1, 2, draw. Oh boy. I'll play a lesson. Draw a card. Done.
Okay. Draw. Alrighty. Let's. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Let's play a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Let's play a Sickle. It's going to give me 1 extra action.
Mm-hmm.
And let's I don't think I. Let's just play Cauldron.
That gets you another action.
No.
Yeah, read the Cauldron.
Oh, fair enough. Okay. So still another action.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hitting you twice with that.
At the end of each of your turns, do 2 damage to your opponent for each action you've used beyond the first 2. Yeah.
So that's I'm hitting you twice with that.
Yep.
So 1 more action. I guess we'll just play a lesson.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, hit you for 4.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 7. I'm gonna play. And I'll play Scribblifors, and I'll target your Self-Stirring Cauldron and this thing.
Sure, what does it do?
So you have to choose 2 of your opponent's cards, and then he or she chooses and discards one of them and returns the other to their hand.
Okay. Fair enough. So we're obviously just going to bounce this, because this is like how I'm going to win this game. Discard that.
Okay.
Okay.
And then... just play a lesson.
Okay.
Be done.
Draw. So we'll replay the cane, and I have 2 extra actions too.
Yeah, actually, this goes away at the start of your turn.
So I have...
So you're going to have 4 actions.
4 actions just to start off my turn.
Yep.
So we'll play the cane, which is going to net me an action.
Correct.
So I still have 4. Then let's play a lesson.
Okay.
Play Magical Me. Play Ollivanders to return the Sickle. And just
replay the Sickle.
The Sickle. Yeah, I think that's the best.
And so that you had 5 actions, so I'm taking 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes, because it was 3 extras. Yes.
Yeah, 3 extra actions. Okay.
Correct.
All right. Done.
Yep.
Oh. Yo, man. I'll play a Scribblifors.
Okay.
And I will target this.
Yep.
And the Sickle.
Yep. So Sickle will go to the discard pile, and this will go to my hand.
And I'm done. Oh no, I'll draw a card. I'm done.
Okay. Draw. All right. We will obviously just the replay of the cane thing happening. So still have 2 actions. Then let's play a Knut. And just 1. Yes. Just draw a card.
All right. So you're going to go away.
Yep.
Draw. This will Dobby's the cane.
Yeah.
Then I will... No, it just goes to your hand.
Oh, I thought it was discard.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
And then I'll get 2 actions still. So I'll draw.
Yep.
I'll draw. And I'm done.
Okay. Draw. So Knut happens. So I have 3. We will obviously continue this train.
So now you will have 4 actions. So 1, 2.
Yeah, because I still have 3.
4. Yep.
Yep.
Just he'll give you 1 when you play it.
Correct.
Yep.
And
Cane doing some work.
Yeah. And I will play another Knut. And play the unicorn horn. So I can grab 2 Non-healing cards from my discard pile, put them on the bottom of my deck. So let's grab a Sickle and I guess my Cauldron. Fine. Bottom. And last action will just be to draw a card.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I'm going to mill these. I'm going to draw. And lesson 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Lesson. Go.
Yep. So draw. Okay, so this goes off, so I have 3.
Yep.
Then, yeah. Then I will play another unicorn horn.
They're not unique, right?
Nope, they're not. Oh, yeah, that's right. Action. And I'm just going to put the nuts on the bottom, I think.
Yep.
Right. Then let's just crack one of them to heal. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Shuffle my deck. Shuffle that money.
Okay.
And let's be drawing cards. Draw. Draw.
These go away.
Yep.
Draw. Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll play a Bulgeye Potion. And I will just crack it and deal you 13.
Yep. 8.
8. Oh, right, because of that. So it's not even worth me cracking it because I don't do the extra damage. Oh, man.
Well, I mean, it's... Yeah. Because this is just going to kill it. Or bounce it.
Bounce it, so it's not worth me cracking it. It's just worth playing
it's just worth playing it and using Arthur Weasley.
Oh, man, this is so bad. All right, I'm going to play it and use it for 10.
Yeah, and use Arthur Weasley.
You take 8.
Yep. So I take 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Neville, get wrecked.
Yep.
You're up.
Okay. Draw.
I've never had so many useless cards in my hand before in my life. This is just insane.
Sorry. All right. Let's just play another hair care just to net the extra action. So
okay.
We're hitting you for at least 2.
Mm-hmm.
And let's play Snape. And not even like enough things that I want to put back in my deck. Guess I'll just draw a card.
Okay. So these 2 are going to go away.
Yep.
Draw. I'll deal you 8.
Yep. 1, 6,
play a second one.
Okay. Yep.
Actually, no, I'm going to die anyway, so take another 8.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8.
And now I'm dead. Go ahead.
Okay. So draw. All right. Well, yes. We're going to play another one of these just to get the bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
Hit you for 2.
Mm-hmm.
Let's... Oh, that was nice. Play... Let's use Ollivanders to get a Sickle. We'll play the Sickle. And we'll use Snape to heal 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So still only just the 3 actions.
1, 2.
Okay.
Yep, I didn't have a way to get extra.
All right.
So that's all getting shuffled in. This is my discard pile. Okay.
I drew. I'm just playing Bulgeye Potion, dealing you 8.
Okay.
And then I'm dead. Because I only have 2 cards left.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 6, 7. Okay. So I still wasn't dead, but.
Nope, you were definitely not dead. This saved you.
100%. 100%. Yeah, you did. All right. Well, the magical me into the Spongify was the play of the bracket. I think I could safely say that was the play of the bracket.
That wrecked me hard.
That was crazy how impactful that was. And I just like pulled that out of my butt. I was like, wait, I think this works. All right, so sideboards. So this sideboard has 3 copies of Fumos, which is completely useless, obviously, since there's no creatures. 2 copies of Argus Filch, which is possibly useful. Like, there's a chance, maybe. Obviously, didn't see any adventures. I guess there's a possibility that he might have some in his sideboard that he adds in. 3 copies of Through the Arch. And then 2 copies of Impersonating Goyle. I don't know if I want any of these, to be honest with you.
So this deck has 4 copies of Fight the Centaur, which is
Fighting the Centaur, yep.
worthless here because it's a anti-creature based adventure.
Mm-hmm.
4 copies of Pep Talk, which that might be good just because it's not a dead card in my deck.
Yeah.
So that's an adventure. And then 2 copies also of Argus Filch to deal with her adventures.
Yeah.
So I'll probably play these because honestly, I have more than 6 dead cards in my deck. Those cards might do something.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'd swap the Arguses for the Arthur Weasleys for sure. I guess I'll just throw Through the Arch in there.
So we're going to get rid of Transfiguration Exam. We're going to get rid of
maybe
all
just
3
another,
of those.
maybe just an Impersonating Goyle to like maybe go search for a character that I need at that particular time.
And the Transfiguration Test. Cards that only do things to creatures, I guess I'll get rid of.
Yeah, that's a fair statement.
Although I still have cards that only do things to creatures, but at least they're items, so...
Yeah. So I think I'll just take out the Arthurs and add in 2 Filches and 1 Impersonating Goyle.
Yeah, just sleeve over the cards that you're taking out. That's what I was doing.
Yep.
You can see our heavily complicated process of putting paper over a card.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I don't think this match is going to go very well for me.
We'll see. I mean, if you can get sneaky and I don't have an answer.
There's no sneakiness in this deck.
Well, if you can get your Bulgeye combo out early enough before I have the ability to.
Yeah, I got it out super early, but.
Right, but like before I have the ability
that one copy of that card just wrecked it.
And there's only one copy of Spongify in this whole deck.
Yeah.
So like,
Problem
I have to hit it.
So many dead cards that are still in my deck.
Yeah, that's fair.
I literally had a 20 card hand and I couldn't play anything.
Yeah, I would have been I should have had you just show me what your hand was.
It was all these transfiguration cards that kill creatures.
Sure.
3 copies of Winged Keys, which is a 10 cost item that says choose one of your opponent's creatures. It doesn't deal you any damage.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, it seems like really the only way that this deck wins is via the Lucius Cane when I don't have Arthur Weasley.
That is the win condition.
Yeah.
That is the 100% win condition. You just need to keep that Cane in play, and you're trying to just play all the action stuff to get you as many. You want to get as many actions as you can get a turn. Yeah. It's just super cool because it's a completely different win condition than the Draco version of the deck that I played in the last Triwizard tournament. Yeah. It's still Draco items, but it's that Slytherin card kind of changes the win condition.
Agreed.
Which is very cool.
Yeah. Well, in theory, if you had Arthur Weasley, then you could be dealing damage based on your items
with your extra
Arthur
actions.
Weasley.
Yeah. Right.
And using
100%. But because you're playing against Arthur Weasley,
right?
So
it's a handicap.
I think that deck's very good. I probably would not play 3 Arthur Weasleys in the main, only because Arthur Weasley is such a popular main that I would probably maybe have 1 in the main and then 2 in the sideboard and board them in against decks that aren't playing Arthur Weasley. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's fair. That's a fair statement.
But I know why they have them in there. They have them in there because of the impersonating Goyles. Oh, actually, that's not a once per game effect.
It's not. They just have it in there because they want to see it in a game. Because that's the faster way to win. Sure. Is to play some of your like unicorn horns or whatever and be dealing 6 damage with your extra actions.
Right.
Like.
Or Lucius Cane would cost 4, right?
Yeah.
So it could be dealing 4,
Yeah.
Yeah, you have plenty of things to do with your extra actions.
Yeah. So I think that's the reason why there's 3.
Did you take the Arthur Weasleys out of the deck?
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
I just sleeved over them.
Yeah.
Because with these, everything I put in was just like a paper proxy. Right. So I just put my paper proxy on top of the Arthur Weasleys.
That's what I did. All right. Well, let's see if I can squeeze out a game and at least make it go 3.
Oh, speaking of which, did mark that I won
victory. Yeah, 1 for Draco. Are those little wands or brooms? Oh, hilarious. Okay.
I cannot keep this.
I will keep.
1 lesson hands scare me. Especially when I don't have a professor. Let's do a quick one of these. So next week we're trying to do the 2-man draft with the packs. Is that the
we'll
plan?
do the 2-man draft. With the Harry Potter students.
Yes, I will try to make some if I can. Worst case, we can just.
You can do it.
Yeah.
We have all weekend.
Yeah, but that's.
We have no life. We just sit at home and play games.
1, 2, 3.
Or watch a lot of television.
5, 6, 7. All right. Well, all right.
All right. I got an advantage.
Yeah, you do.
Eel Eyes. Let's see that beautiful hand.
Okay.
Show it to everybody.
Neville.
Okay.
Unicorn Horn.
Okay.
Hair Care. Filch. Magical Me. Christmas Feast. And 1 Charm.
Okay.
Still only have 1 lesson.
Filch is a once per game effect.
No. You may use an action to discard an adventure.
Okay.
An action.
What a blowout. Okay.
Weren't you planning to play an adventure?
Probably.
Oh, okay. Well, then fair enough.
But I know you got it now, so.
All right. So draw.
Yep.
Fudge muffins. Okay. Draw.
Mm-hmm.
Still fudge muffins. Okay. Lesson.
Okay. My turn?
Yep.
I mean, you're just going to use your actions to draw anyway. So maybe... Yeah, just use this time to get lessons and to play. I'm done.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Draw. Draw. Lesson.
Okay. Draw. All right. A lesson. Done.
Draw. Draw. Oh.
Okay.
Get an extra.
Why do you get an extra? Playing a potion?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right.
Not true. All right. Done?
Yes.
Draw. We'll play Pep Talk.
Yep.
So the first action your opponent uses on each of your turns must be to draw a card.
Okay.
And then to get rid of it, your opponent shows you a card from his hand with a printing cost of 8 or more.
Okay.
You're up.
Yep. So draw a card. So first thing I have to do is draw.
Mm-hmm.
From Pep Talk.
So then you get an action.
Then I have 1 action left. So we'll play the Hair Care Potion, which is going to net me another action.
Yep.
Which we'll just play Filch.
Yep. Okay. Done?
Yeah.
Draw. I'll play Picking on Neville on Filch.
Fudge muffins.
Okay. And then second action, I will play Beetle Eyes and deal you 4 damage.
Okay.
You're up.
Draw.
Mm-hmm.
I still have to draw with my first action.
Yes.
As a Pep Talk.
Yep.
And don't have a choice.
Yep. So you get to draw 2 cards for defeating it.
Is that a may or is that a requirement?
Your opponent may draw 2 cards.
I do not need to.
Okay. So my turn?
Yep.
All right. Draw. Action for Bulgeye.
Mm-hmm.
And then second action will be to use Arthur to deal you 10 damage.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10.
And I'm done.
Draw. I think I was behind. I'm behind just enough.
Could be. I might get to play game 3.
Because I don't think I have a choice but to just play some lessons.
Yeah.
Well, I guess lesson, and then I could play this magical me.
Yep.
Which is going to still net me an extra action.
And it counts as a lesson.
And it counts as a lesson, to which we can play my cane. I'll hit you for 2.
Okay. 1, 2. Okay. Done?
Yeah.
Draw. Action for 10.
From Weasley up.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay. And then I think we just use an action to play a lesson.
Okay.
And I'm done.
Draw. All right, so we will use this to play that Spongify that got discarded.
It's in there?
Yep.
I would have cracked it. I didn't realize it was in there.
You just hit it. So
yeah, I didn't realize when you flipped the cards.
Bounces to your hand.
Yep. Big mistake.
And I draw a card.
Yep. That's a huge mistake.
So that was
I got to pay attention when you put the cards in the discard pile. Because I knew it wasn't in there before.
Yeah, you just flipped it.
Right, I just didn't see you.
Crack.
I didn't see you do it.
Then
big mistake.
Let's I think I unfortunately have to.
I'm gonna lose this game.
Play a lesson. I don't know. I'm still behind because I'm behind on lessons.
I think I'm still gonna lose. I will play a Beetle Eyes.
Okay.
Deal 4. Maybe not. That was a good draw. And then I'll deal 5.
Oh.
That was a big draw. That gave me a shot.
I think.
I had 3 in my discard pile,
Yeah.
so I was trying to think what I could play. I don't have too many items left. You're up.
Draw. Okay, so I have 5 tables, so we'll play a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
We will play the unicorn horn, which is going to net me 1, so I can heal 2. And honestly, I'm just gonna crack it
to heal 6 more.
Heal 6 more. Yeah. So 1, 2.
Right. So these are gonna go away, and then I'm gonna draw a card.
5, 6. Maybe. Oh, but he's a healing card. Okay.
So my first action is after you shuffle, it's just gonna hit you for 5.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna play a lesson and pass.
Let's do too. So let's do an. Oh, can I do deck or discard, or is it just only deck? That takes that plan away. Okay. I was thinking about going to search for Snape or Pomfrey, but they're both in my discard pile.
Right.
So that's not going to help me. So instead, let's play a Sickle.
Mm-hmm.
So net me one more.
Yep.
So you'll take 2.
Mm-hmm.
Then I think I just need to play another Unicorn Horn, which I'll just crack it right away and heal 8 combined.
Yep.
And
so that's out of actions.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I had to play a lesson to be able to play that.
Then you can't play the Unicorn Horn and crack it.
Yeah. So that's fine. I'll just play it and fix that. Be able to actually.
So you can't. So hold on.
I can play it. I can't.
So you
crack it.
use an action to play a lesson.
Right.
So that's one action.
Right.
Second action is to do this.
Correct.
And then you can play this.
Correct.
Okay. Right.
Yeah. So I'm just healing for 2, not for 8.
Okay, that's fine.
So let's put. Those 2 back in my deck.
Okay, I'm good on the bottom.
So I can go grab it.
All right.
Okay.
My turn?
Yeah.
Draw. Action?
Yep.
5. Yeah. And then next action will be Scribblifors. We're going to target Filch, and we're going to target this.
Okay. So one's discard one's hand?
Yes.
Well, that gets rid of my Impersonating Goyle plan for next turn. I don't have the Lockhart's hair care potion to make it cheap, so can't afford to do that.
Amount of actions.
Okay.
Oh, these were discarded.
All right, so starting my turn, draw, and I have 4 actions at the moment. So you'll take 4 damage initially. So we'll play a Unicorn Horn and net an action from it. So yeah, another 2. And crack it.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be. I still have 3 left.
So you're gonna heal
so
8.
we heal 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Eight.
Go.
Discard pile. Then let's I don't think I have a choice. I think I need to use 2 actions on Hannah.
Mm-hmm.
I can use her once per. Of course, that happens. Use her once per game to trade 1 Impersonating Goyle and 1 Ollivanders for a Unicorn Horn.
Oh yeah,
again.
you can't. So yeah, good thing. He called it out. You can only do non-healing cards, and those are unicorn cards. So you can't keep cycling the unicorns.
Oh, that's fair.
So I know you put 2 back in your deck.
Yeah, I think I just put 2.
So
So that's fine. So we'll just grab. I did forget about that. So I guess we'll just do more money.
Yeah.
So take the characters out, and that changes my plan.
Take the characters
I
out?
put Snape and Pomfrey.
Yeah, you can't do that either.
Yeah. Can I do that?
It says healing on the card. You can't do it.
Yeah, it does.
This also says healing.
Yeah. So that completely changes my plan. So I don't even want to play her.
Okay.
So that was 4 other cards that I need to put back in my deck.
And I think there's also...
One. Put those back in my deck instead.
Okay. Shuffle it up.
All right, so then with that said, Hannah into the Impersonating Goyle is a terrible plan because the whole plan was to go and get Madam Pomfrey. So then I guess we'll use an Ollivanders to just grab one of the unicorn horns and play it. 2 actions, and I'll use my last action to heal 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I can't win.
I don't know. I feel like I'm on the ropes.
It's impossible for me to win. I can only deal 5 damage a turn, and you figured out a way to loop 8 a turn. And I can't stop it.
It was only because I had the
But you could do
Ollivanders.
You could do it every time, though. You can get the Ollivanders back every time, put it back into your deck.
How can I get Ollivanders back every time?
With that blue book. The blue book.
Do I have the blue book?
It's in your hand.
Okay, but it's not on the battlefield at the moment.
But you play it next turn, you get Ollivander back. I'm dead. I just lost. I just realized.
I mean, I still have to deal you a lot of damage.
It's an infinite healing loop.
But go ahead.
Draw. Yeah, so I'll deal you 5. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Go.
What else are you doing?
Play a lesson.
Oh, okay.
Can't do anything.
Draw. So we can
just play the book. You get Ollivander back.
I already have an Ollivanders in my hand.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm just dead.
So if I play the Ollivanders as an action to get the unicorn horn, play it to net an extra action, so you'll take 2 damage.
So you played this, that cost you an action.
Right.
Then you play this,
which gives me an action.
It gives you an action.
Yep. And I can heal 2.
Yep. And then sack it and heal 8. And then I take 2.
Correct, yeah.
So yeah, so it's game over. You can heal more than I can deal in a turn.
1, 2.
You just got to make sure you put the Ollivander back.
Just need to make sure I have one in here still. Don't. So that has to stay in my discard pile.
Right, which that's where you want it. Because I can't do anything as long as you keep it in the discard pile.
That's fine. Okay.
So then I draw. I mean, I don't know if this gets me there, but I did draw that.
Okay.
So that's an action.
Yep. So I have 2 magical me's.
Yeah. You just put them on the table.
Yep.
Oh.
A Sickle, Hannah, and then 2 Impersonating Goyles.
Yep. And that Stupefy card in here still.
Huh?
Yep.
The Spongify? Yeah, it's in there.
Of course it's still in there.
Yeah, I have not shuffled it back.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll deal you 5.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 5.
Go.
Draw. All right, so let's play Lockhart's Care.
Okay.
Gonna net me an action, so you'll at least take 2.
Mm-hmm.
Then let's play Neville as 1 action.
Mm-hmm.
And then just play the Sickle.
Yep. Okay. And I can't win. My only chance was not to get this Dobby's disappearance milled. Like, you're going to get 4 actions next turn. You'll be able to heal your whole deck. For the 5 I can hit. Yeah. If I blow this up and get the Bulgeye, that's an action.
Mm-hmm.
And then I could deal only 8 now because of Neville, but I can't kill Neville.
Right.
Because he's a character. So yeah, I'll just concede. Game over. That is you could heal your deck every turn for 8 is a pretty brutal.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely, with 2 magical me's, I can still cycle that 2 more times.
You could do it.
And then I could just play the Christmas feast to go and
get them all back.
Oh no, but it's only non-healings.
These are not healing items.
True. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You have there is a loop going on that that I can't break with this deck.
So like that.
So I just lose.
Can go
get Ollivanders
and get Ollivanders,
which gets one of the
which goes and gets one of these.
Right.
And then the Christmas feast can go and grab all the copies of the Magical Me.
It can grab the books. It can grab
the
money, which helps to get the more actions.
Right.
And I can't do anything.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I could not draw any more picking on Neville's. There's one. We could have kept playing it out, but your deck was...
Yeah. I might have made a couple of mistakes there,
Your deck was growing faster than I could deal it damage. Here's for the other picking on Neville.
Yeah. I might have made a couple of mistakes in there, but...
Yeah, I think you...
I don't know that it would have changed.
I think you actually did the non-healing more than once.
I might have.
Which really probably hurt me because you were way behind. But it didn't matter.
Yeah.
If you would have known on the 3rd game, you would have crushed me. This deck it's not a bad deck. But the person that put it together, they just scaled a little too heavy against creatures.
Yeah.
And didn't scale for anything else. Because it's like, this is for creatures. This is for spells. But I couldn't play them because of the Argus Filch. You got the Argus Filch every game.
Well, that game, yes.
I killed one and you played a second one.
No.
Yes, I killed one.
No.
Yes, I killed one of the Argus Filches.
But I didn't play a second one. I only had the one. And you killed it.
No, but the second one you got back. I swear
I didn't play a second one. I played Neville.
You played Neville? Okay. I thought you played the second one.
I didn't. I think I shuffled it in, but I don't know that. I mean, maybe it was in my hand towards the end of the game, but I didn't play it again.
Yeah. So the problem I had was I basically had all these adventures. Really weren't doing anything.
Yeah. I think that's clearly seems to be like the engine that this deck is intending. It's not intending to use this for the Spongify. It's intended to do that to do the Ollivanders. To just go and get. It's
an infinite heal engine.
Yeah.
You can heal 8 every turn.
Yeah.
And then while you're healing your deck 8 every turn, you're taking all these extra actions and dealing your opponent damage with Lucius Cane.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty good good thing. That's where
it was a great use of like this whole deck engine is pretty much just with Slytherin cards, which is actually really cool to see.
Yeah, the answer to that deck is one of the Slytherin locations that prevents you from taking cards out of your discard pile.
Oh, nasty! Yeah,
that card would shut that down.
That would shut this deck down hard.
Not shut it down, but it would prevent the looping of the heals. You could still play the deck and do a million awesome things. Yeah, but you would prevent the looping.
But it would
be
hard. It would be a lot harder because you have to, just draw like your money to deal the damage and draw the heal. Like you'd have to draw it and not having it discarded. So it'd make it a much steeper battle. This deck almost doesn't care quite as much if things end up in the bin because you have so many ways to A, shuffle back in, and B, just tutor for what you need.
Well, yeah, I mean, that was the worst part was that once I mulled the Spongify into your graveyard along with an Ollivander, I was dead. Yeah. Because I had no way to interact with those 2 cards, and you just keep them in your graveyard the whole time.
Right.
And you always have access to them.
Correct.
So it was your deck was just doing things on a higher level than this deck was doing things. Yeah. But like if this deck played against a creature deck, it probably would have probably would have done well.
Yeah, it would probably.
But against anything else, anything non-creature based,
yeah, because you had so much creature control in that deck.
And I sideboarded out 6 of the cards that were against creatures. So
yeah.
It was an interesting match. I just I could have played it out, but honestly, it's 9:30 and it was inevitable. Like once we figured out that you could
how to loop it,
you could heal 8 a turn, and I can only ever deal 5. And then once you played Neville, it was over because my only chance was to try to burst you out with a Bulgeye for 23 in a turn,
right?
Where I played it. I used it with Arthur, and then I hit you for another. That was like my only chance to burst. But I could never do that.
Right.
Because there's no action cheating in this deck.
Right.
And I could never get more than 2 actions. Mm-hmm. So all I could do is get the Bulgeye
into play and either sack it or deal 10.
And then I could only deal 8 because Neville was in play.
Correct.
And I had no way to kill your characters. Mm-hmm. So they should make a
way to interact with characters.
They should make a kill curse. The kill curse, and it kills a character. Avada Kedavra should kill a character.
Yeah. What would be cool is if they did Imperio and you could gain control of someone's of a character.
That would be. Character. I think there is a card like that. The Imperious Curse, I think, is in the game.
That would be the Imperio. Like, yeah, maybe they did that with this expansion.
I think it does that with a creature. I think you can Imperious Curse a creature and you gain control of it.
Okay, well, that's okay, I guess. But
Avada Kedavra, though, should definitely kill a character. That would just be amazing.
Not starting, obviously, but yeah.
Yeah, you can't be your starting character. No, a character in play, but not your starting character.
For sure, yeah. All right, well, that was fun. I guess I figured out the combos kind of by accident, but it worked out.
I helped a little bit once I realized what was going on.
Yes, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, I'm all about...
I was I felt like I was just on damage control, so I was just like trying to, like I kind of stumbled upon it by accident of like just looping into the unicorn horns and cracking them. Like play it, crack it.
Yeah. Avada Kedavra definitely needs to be a kill a character. Just a kill a character and it's a spell.
Yeah.
But it should do something negative to you because it's a bad spell.
Sure.
So like it should
just be really expensive.
No, it should kill a character, but that something bad should happen to you.
I mean,
right? Like, there's got to be consequences in the Harry Potter universe because it's one of the 3 unforgivable curses, right? So there should be a consequence like that. Can be a mechanic.
It's like if you murder someone in the real world, like yes, there's you go to Azkaban. Like if you're caught killing somebody magically, you're sent to Azkaban. But I don't really.
Well, maybe Avada Kedavra puts a a Dementor in play for your opponent. I don't know.
But that was fun.
I'm just spitballing.
Next week, I think we're going to do the 2-man draft with more of the
Portuguese packs.
Portuguese sealed packs.
Yeah, so we opened, there's 24 boosters in here, right?
I have no idea. 36.
Oh, there are 36. Yeah. Perfect, that's what I thought. So we basically do 3 weeks worth, 12, 12, and 12. Mm-hmm. So we'll do the next 12 boosters next week, Monday, and we will be a little more prepared.
Yeah, we'll pull so you guys don't have to watch us pull cards in English for an hour.
And one thing that we're going to do, if you hadn't seen our draft, is we talked about making Patronus and I are going to make a handful of starting wizard cards for limited play.
And by Patronus and I, he means Patronus. Well, going to make them.
No, Patronus is going to make the images. Gold Leader is going to supply the text.
Which the text is going to be provides a color.
It might be more than that. We'll see. But they're going to be.
We talked about the fact that they're just going to provide a color.
I don't know. We'll see. We're going to make some Harry Potter.
So Patronus is going to do 98% of the work, and Gold Leader is going to do 2% of that work.
2% still gets credit. If you own 2% of Amazon, would you be happy right now? You would.
All right. Well, until next week, guys. Thanks for joining us.
See ya.